Gonna rock the town without being seen. Turtle get down, slamming and jamming to the new swing sound. Yeah, everybody let's move. Vanilla is here with a new jack groove. Gonna rock and roll the place with the power of the Ninja Turtle face. Iceman, you know I'm not playing this. Gonna show what the turtle I say.
Wildly startable. Like, if you do anything wrong, they will either fall over and cry or kick you to death. And you will do absolutely nothing different, and everything will be okay. But you can also do just as much nothing and make everything worse. In ways that you can't even begin to understand. So you have to go to, like, a tech person who's basically like a priest. They don't speak, like, human tongues. They don't, they don't understand the world as we do. But they will basically, like, put their forehead against it and, like, hum. And that's how they understand the problem.
Instead of holding snakes, they hold SATA cables. Yeah, I was like, this is stupid, but as you guys know, I'm a big, like, wrestling dork, and one of my favorites is Hangman Adam Page, the wrestling cowboy, and, like, part of, like, and this is so stupid, but it's the God's honest truth, like, part of why I'm such a big fan of his is, like, you know, his whole character, you know, he has shirts that say anxious millennial cowboy. So much of his character is that, like, he's nervous, he's scared, he's, you know, like, all these, like, very real emotions.
His knees are a knocking and his teeth are a chattering.
Yeah, that he's, you know, he's got all these, like, self-esteem issues. And so whenever I see him riding in for his, like, rematch against Kenny Omega for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and he comes riding in on a horse, my dumb brain goes like, wow, you know, he's brave because he's on a horse, and horses are fucking scary.
Horses are, I don't know how we fixed them. I don't know how we got them to agree to live the life they currently do.
I think about this truly all the time. You know, I live here in New York City, greatest city in the world, where there is a not inconsiderable number of horses. You know, there's like
officers,
mounted police, in
carriages.
Especially romantic carriages through Central Park, of course, and there are stables kind of periodically throughout the city. Just like in Manhattan, you're like, oh, there are the stables. And seeing like a horse getting like hosed down next to like a Hyundai Sonata, you're like, how dare we? How dare we do this to like the most beautiful creature who's ever possibly existed? You look at a horse and you're like, we can't own this. This isn't right. It doesn't want to be owned like a dog does. It doesn't ask for this life. How would the hubris of man to say that thing should not only allow me to ride it, but also pull my shitty little children and my terrible husband along through Central Park.
Not for nothing. If humanity didn't tame horses, we would not exist the way we do. Being able to, like, because you do, like, you guys have gone for a walk, right? You guys have, like, just, like, gone for a stroll. You know how fucking slow that is? You know how long it takes you to get anywhere? Now imagine there's this thing that if you feed it, it will just hang around you. And it goes, and it can go, like, 5 times faster for way longer. Imagine if humanity could never do that for thousands of years.
I'm sitting here, I'm talking into my computer, my good microphone, I'm looking over at my multiple ways to play video games, and I'm saying, we were wrong to domesticate horses, take it all away.
It was back.
It was
the Indo-Europeans were wrong.
It is the sin that mankind will be judged for. It is like, if I could go back in time and change one thing, I would let JFK get assassinated. I would not stop the planes flying into the Twin Towers, but I 100% would go up to the first guy to try and ride a horse, and I would shoot him.
Knock it off.
Knock that shit out. I would tell him the horse is the devil.
All you need to do is spook the horse, and the horse would kick him to death.
Like John Wick 2.
To a testament of what Justin is saying, like, still to this day, we use horses as a basis of measurement for how fast a thing goes.
Yes.
Or how much power an engine generates.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't measure distance in horses.
Oh shit! There's 18 tiny horses inside this engine.
No, people still rely on horses. Like the post office still uses horses for distant areas that don't have roads.
That's beautiful.
They still have to travel by horseback, or even better, donkey back.
I think horses should vote. I think we should take away human votes, and I think horses should vote now.
As in, one clop for yes, two clop for no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think horses Pokemon go to the polls. You know what I mean?
If a horse
subsidies through the roof.
See, this Apple platform is doing really well.
The war against whips and buggies.
And if a horse kicks a voting machine, then you have to do a recall election. You have to immediately start it all over again because the horse knows something.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have horse sense.
They have horse sense.
They have horse sense.
Say nay.
So when they buck and bray, that's how I know something's up. I know evil is near when the horses are acting up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
That is how I know that evil is in the barn.
Don't they play that trick in Nope by Jordan Peele? Don't they do that? Or
sure think they do.
It seems like they do. It seems like that happens in that movie where
a horse being freaked out by something is the key plot detail to how they figure out the nature of the beast of Jean Jacket. That is they trust the horse is the number one decision they decide to make, and guess what? Saves all their lives.
Yeah.
Everyone who listens to the horse lives. Spoilers for Nope.
Okay, but should donkeys get to vote?
I may or may not have been on a set recently, and the set may or may not have had a horse. This is all totally hypothetical, of course.
Yeah.
This is a made up story. This is not real.
Yeah.
It's apocryphal.
This is all just me.
We're talking first draft Vern lore.
Yeah, this is all just me spitballing. This is all just me standing in the conversation, and I hypothetically saw a scene get shot where a horse had to walk down a narrow alleyway, alleyway that was shaped like an L, and there might have been, hypothetically, in this made up scenario, there might have just been I don't know, let's just spitball here, 600 background talents lining both walls of the alleyway, and the horse hypothetically had to go from one end of the alleyway to another, and these 600, let's just say 600 background talents may have had to throw just handfuls of rose petals in the air as this horse was entering. And truly, one of the scariest, if this is all made up, if I would see something like this, it would have been one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my entire life. If something like this were to occur, I might have...
Thank God you didn't see it. Thank God
I didn't see it. Thank God this did not happen. It might have been a thing where every time they called action, I turned my back so that I didn't see, I don't know, hypothetically, a horse kick an innocent person in the face and murder them.
Hate to see that.
I would hate to see that, but it wouldn't happen.
Thank God
it can't
didn't
happen.
And thank God there wasn't a moment where the horse got spooked and the horse started backing up and the horse kept backing up, backed into people, and then kept backing up into a wall. Thank God that never happened, because this is all hypothetical.
Purely hypothetical.
But
Really hypothetical.
just I think when you guys go outside, when you're taking a stroll and you hear the birds chirping, like
As I am wont to do.
You guys hear like,
as I am without horse, I must take a stroll on my own 2 feet.
When you guys do that, you hear, like the sounds of nature. But me, I don't think there's a lot of people that do this, but me, whenever I step outside, I hear the overwhelming collective harmony of murder. And there's no other person who's ever said something like that. I just, horses are fucking scary. Monkeys are scary. Nature is scary. And we were foolish to ever think that we could, like, hold dominion over that.
Horses make sounds that show that prove there is no God.
Yes.
Horses, the most benign sound a horse could make sounds like a growling predator.
And they're not the four Ubers of the apocalypse.
No
they're
way.
Not the four.
Not the four razor scooters of the apocalypse.
They're not
Oh,
the
no.
four skateboards.
Not the four moon boots of the apocalypse. No, sir.
Not the 4 boogie boards. No,
know
sir.
Not the
know
4
that
hoverboards.
No
you
way.
know the apocalypse is coming when you hear the clopping of them hooves, y'all. Mm-hmm. You know it's coming.
Which is why...
Rolling their 2 small eyes. Their eyes are too small
Oh my
for
God,
their
yes.
faces.
But their nose is
And
very big.
Their noses are so long. And God shouldn't let any animal scream the way horses do.
There's a video that I saw on the internet. A video I wish I had never saw. Surprisingly, a video that was not sent to me by Justin. But it's horse breeders. And, like, there's one lady horse, and there's one male horse. And the lady horse, like...
Okay, I like where this is going.
The lady horse is, like, ready, right? Like, the lady horse, like, wants what's about to happen. Prepared.
Yeah.
And the male horse goes to approach her, and of course, the male horse goes to approach her from behind. I guess, to be fair, the male horse didn't, like, start with trying to give it a back rub or anything. He just
Didn't light any candles, didn't
light
open
any
a bottle
candle.
of wine.
Put on any Smokey Robinson.
But the male horse just, like, approached the female horse and, like, spooked it. And the female horse just, like, fucking, like...
Horses
just
are spooking
hopped up on its
themselves.
front
What's
hooves.
the world come to?
Yes,
And, like-
horse... because a horse is wise and knows that a horse is scary. Even another horse. You know what I mean? Like, they know to be afraid of each other.
This used to be a stable, a proper stable. And the lady horse, like, hopped up on her front legs, kicks the male horse, like, and catches him, like, right at the top of the neck, right at the bottom of the jaw. And the male horse, like, immediately goes completely stiff and starts, like, tipping over, like a statue would tip over. Like this was a racist horse statue.
Like Confederate horse, yeah.
Like a Confederate horse. And, like, I want to say, like, when the horse was at 75 degrees, when it went from 90, it starts out at 90, when the horse is, like, 75 degrees, the horse started shitting. Like, the horse's bowels started evacuating. And so, like, this lady horse killed a male horse, like, instantaneously.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, imagine what that would do to a human. That's fucking
exactly right.
terrifying.
I've seen John Wick kill 2 people with 1 horse, okay, just by letting it do a kick. Listen, horses are dangerous and beautiful animals. This is why the #1 romance novel fantasy is The Stable Boy, because that guy spends a lot of time around horses. We know he is strong. We know he is powerful. We know he fears nothing.
We know
this
he's
is
sensitive.
why I am forming the Oats Party and politically rallying the horses.
Oats Party.
I'm forming the fucking Oats Party.
You will have to pry my vote from my cold dead hands before I let you give it to a horse.
Well,
Kevin,
all right,
you've
Justin,
been to
you and the
Grant's
horse
Farm, right?
fight for the vote. You and the
you've
horse
been-
fight for the vote, 1v1, mano y mano. You and the horse fight for that vote. I want to see who wins that vote. I want to see who comes out of the horse ring. It ain't gonna be
You've been to Grant's
Justin.
Farm, right? You've seen the Budweiser Clydesdales?
I
Of
have,
course,
yeah.
the majestic
Those
beasts.
things are kaiju. Those things are
Fucking
megafauna.
scary. They're
That's scary,
scary.
isn't it?
They're too big to vote, Kevin.
A Clydesdale gets 2 votes in my election in the Oats party.
No, because
Clydesdale gets
it'll
2
empty our
votes.
It's 2
carrot
votes.
stores. We'll have to invest everything into like brushes and sugar cubes. The economy will collapse.
Sounds great.
guess-
Sugar cube economy. Lick,
I
lick,
guess
lick.
it's for folks keeping
Kevin, I
score at
will not
home.
go back to being a brony. I will not. I left that life behind.
You're not gonna have a fucking choice.
Kevin walks in wearing his like cowboy outfit, but also like military badges. Justin, we need you for one last job. And Justin's like,
job.
I've left that life behind me.
I need you to lust after Applejack one more
I
time.
I put Equestria Daily on a block list for a reason, Kevin.
Daily. A lot of news happening in the.
You'd be amazed how much they would consider news.
Listen, when Daniel Radcliffe needed to prove that he's not just a little boy wizard, that he's a big boy actor, what did he do? He did a play called Equus,
With Naked with the Horse.
naked with a horse, like a big boy would do.
Right. Little boys don't want to fuck the horse. Real
Little
men
boys
want
cannot
to
fuck the
fuck the
horse.
horse.
That's my new terminology for when a young actor has to like do the edgy project to prove that like every time Tom Holland does a movie where he does coke, that's called fucking the horse. That's the TV trope.
Oh. Whenever a show becomes more mature, it's growing the beard because of Riker after season 2,
Yeah.
after season 1 of TNG.
Yeah.
Whenever a character becomes more mature, they are fucking the horse.
fucking the
No,
horse.
no.
That's how
It's
you
not
know.
just that they're more mature. It's that I would argue that fucking the horse is an off branch of jumping the shark. In that, no, I'm actually serious now. In that, just as jumping the shark is setting a level of absurdity in a relatively grounded setting that you can't really recover from, fucking the horse is setting a level of edge and kind of contrarian adulthood. It's not just because it's not just being a grown up.
It's look how grown up I am. It's Lizzie Berkley in Showgirls. She was fucking the horse.
I'm so grown up that I'm around.
It's
horses. I'm
Miley
around
Cyrus's Wrecking Ball. It's
Yeah.
like that is
Yeah.
fucking the horse.
Well, okay, so Miley Cyrus on the Wrecking Ball. There's Lizzie Berkley in Showgirls. There's Daniel Radcliffe in Equus.
The eponymous horse fucker.
Yes.
The codifier.
Is Lord of the Rings Elijah Wood fucking the horse, or is Wilfred Elijah Wood?
I would
Wilfred,
say
maybe
Wilfred
Sin
is
City.
fucking the horse. No, Sin City is absolutely fucking the horse.
Sin City,
City.
where he plays
Playing
like
a
the
pedophile?
crazy cannibal. Yeah.
Okay, I forgot about Sin. I forgot
Named
he was in
the
that
Yellow Bastard.
No, that's a different character. Elijah Wood's cannibal serial killer in Sin City is called Kevin, and of course I remember that.
movie. Why? Now, why would?
Now why would? Because my first name is TVs, so why would I care if a
Right,
character's
right.
Exactly.
named Kevin?
Well, of course, named after your dad, Mike.
Mike TV.
Mike TV.
My little dad who grew up, he got sucked inside the TV in the chocolate factory where they have the
Yeah,
TV
no, and he
machine.
stayed the
happens.
TV, so you had a TV dad.
It
I had a TV
happens.
then. Raised by TV.
Kevin was literally raised by TV.
I was raised by TV.
Just at the ball game, your dad's on one of those shitty little like travel TVs.
Yeah,
that were
it's,
the ones that were just like a perfect cube.
Whenever
Yeah.
Kevin was in school and the teacher didn't feel like teaching and they wheeled the TV out in the cart, Kevin's like, "Uncle."
When your dad
Uncle's
went-
gonna show me October Sky again.
When your dad went to get his tube ties, you didn't realize he meant it that way.
I've heard of helicopter parents, but satellite parents? Oh my God.
And this is, of course, your movies for babies. Where, of course, as you know, we are talking about
A horse, of course.
a horse-tastic film called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. There are some horses in this film.
A
There are some
completely
horses.
horseless film.
No, not a horseless film. Many horses.
Are there
Where were there
mount-
horses?
I can't.
In the
are there mounted-
climax.
Are there
You
mounted?
don't remember?
Oh, that's right.
How
Oh,
replete
right, so the
with
cops.
horses?
The police.
No. Superfly. Super Duper
Oh,
Fly.
that's right. That's right. The
has
leg.
an entire leg made of horses.
The
Several
fifth
horses
leg.
die in this
That's
film.
right,
That's how you
that's
know
right.
the stakes are serious, because a horse died.
Mutant Mayhem is the turtles fucking the horse. You know? It's
Truly. This is how you know they're growing up.
This is how you know they're not teenagers anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, the history of the turtles, because like they kind of started fucking the horse.
What the fuck?
And then they have since really tried to erase the idea that they used to fuck the horse.
They tried
Do you
to
know what I mean?
unfuck the horse.
Yeah,
They
because
tried to
like
repair the horse's virginity.
I'm sorry. I just got curious if there were horse characters.
yeah, let's go on. Whatever.
Vern got tickled by a horse feather.
Okay, I got curious to know if there
was a horse character.
And there
horse
is
mutant.
on TMNTpedia. I feel like we could have done a better name, guys.
It's Turtlepedia on fandom. Turtlepedia.fandom. Equine started out as a quote, and this word is in quotes, funny animal parody of macho characters like Conan the Barbarian, but slowly broke down into just a dumb medieval horse character. The turtles appeared in 2 of his comics, Equine the Uncivilized number 3 and number 6. The latter also featured appearances by Miyamoto Usagi and Panda Khan. And God, this picture of Equine
is great.
That is what made me laugh. That is
I love Equine.
I love this guy.
It's kind of my shit. What are the odds that there is a collected edition of Equine that I could read?
What listeners do need to understand is that the TMNT's like creative DNA is in fact just extensive Marvel parodies.
Yeah.
Right. So Eastman and Laird, the creators of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they were friends and collaborators with the people that created Daredevil. And so the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who you know as funny little guys that eat pizza, are essentially a takeoff on 80s Daredevil, but what if there were 4 Daredevils, and what if they were Turtle Boys? In the original incarnate, which is the ooze that gives them their powers is will never officially be able to be this because of licensing, but is nominally the same canister of radioactive material that gave Daredevil his sight powers. And Daredevil of course famously fights a group of ninjas called the Hand. So who did the turtles fight? Of course, the Foot. It's a big ping pong back and forth sort of
real
thing there.
Puffin Publishing podcast level parody.
Yes,
Thank you.
It's a real, but the original comics are very serious. They're very po-faced. The 4 turtles are not really able to be distinguished from each other. They're all very, very similar. Yeah. And also the comic is in black and white, so like it's impossible to tell them apart.
Well, the joke begins and ends with, what if Daredevil was just 4 turtles?
Right.
And no, and that's where the comedy is. It's like if 24 was with a talking dog, and otherwise 24 instead of Jack Bauer, it was Jack Bow Wower,
but played right down the middle. Not
yeah,
like
otherwise it was
magazine
normal
thing.
24.
Yes, just regular 24, but he's a dog. Even though we all know that Jack Bauer is a horse. But
I desperately want to see
Jack Bow Wower.
Bow Wower. You have no idea.
Jack Bow Wower torturing,
Well, no. Instead of beating people with a wrench, it's a bone.
Yeah, it's every episode. There's half of the episode is just like him outside going for a walk.
He's trying to. He can't decide whether to cut the red wire or the green wire, but because he's colorblind, he can't tell the difference.
Right, and because dog years are 7, human years 24 is actually like 3.3 hours.
168.
It's like 3.5 hours because that's 24 hours to a dog. Anyway, yes. So they began as the very po-face. And I'm not making fun of these comics. I've honestly never personally read a comic with the Ninja Turtles in them. I've never had that relationship with the Turtles. But this obviously somebody saw something in this, and they became very merchandised. There's of course, and then the 80s cartoon is really where this all becomes a real like household pop cultural staple, where they make it very silly. They love the pizza. They have the fun 90s personalities. That's where we get like the iconic designs of these characters like April O'Neil, and you play like even the side-scrolling video game that came out a few years ago is modeled after that version.
Casey Jones.
Yes, Casey Jones. God, I love Krang. God, I love Krang.
Krang's great. I'm a big Krang guy.
I love me some Krang. Sadly, we watched a Krangless film, but I understand. We have to kind of get away. One of the things
I don't mind them building up to Krang.
The
really,
the 80s in a way were almost like, I don't know, like, of course, I did not live in the 80s. I was born in November of 89, so I got in there just like at like 11:30.
Right under the wire.
You were able to line up one bump of Coke before the ball dropped.
Yeah. People say, like, I don't know what Zoom is. I don't know what the Animaniacs are. They say only 90s kids will get this. And I go, I don't know it. I'm 89. But I don't know about you guys. I imagine you guys probably feel the same. But, like, I walk through life in the year 2023. And I do think that, like, wow, this is probably the most, like, creatively devoid time in all of human history. And I do wonder if, like, the only other time that gives us a run for our money is the 1980s, because there was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a cartoon. And, like, from that, like, well, let's try to make Rambo a children's cartoon. Let's try to make The Toxic Avenger a 1980s cartoon. And
I think it is, but in a very different creature. In that the 80s still had mass culture. There was still pop culture.
And I guess
which does not exist anymore.
But also, one thing too that is, like, important is the whole reason, like, the Turtles were made into a cartoon was because, like, we can, like, let's make some money, let's sell some toys.
Right. No, but it was also to sell physical things. We don't even do that anymore.
That's true.
You don't even get, like, the last hurrah of the physical toy was, like, Skylanders, where you would buy the toy to then play it in a video game.
God,
and now
those
kids just have
those were a
Fortnite.
pestilence.
I worked in a vintage stock. We dealt with those.
Yeah, because they had the Disney. What was the Disney one?
Oh, Disney. It was like Disney Infinite, and it sucked.
That's right. And then the Lego got in on it with, like, Lego Dimensions.
Everyone tried to do
Amiibo.
the toys are a video game thing, and it didn't work because video games beat toys every fucking time, unfortunately.
Well, also, like, if you're gonna have a toy, it needs to be able to, like, you move its arms. And all these Amiibo and, like, Disney Infinity, like, at least, like, with the Legos, like, you can build them, you can treat them as Legos, but like the
or
Skylanders,
you can go in Roblox and Minecraft and make anything you want with infinite Legos.
This is true.
Skylanders don't do shit.
Sit
there.
Skylanders,
Amiibo, sit there.
Skylanders fuck around and do a Crash Bandicoot, and it sucks.
Amiibo sit on shelf, and then you put it on your Switch, and it gives you, like, an apple, and you're like, sick. What am I, a horse?
I was super happy. I mean, I wasn't. Well, yes, I was, because it was a downfall of a corporation. Whenever Toys R Us was going out of business. Because then, like, Amiibos are cool to, like, have on your shelf just sitting there, and I was super happy whenever Toys R Us went out of business, because the only ones I really wanted, like Ness and Lucas from the Earthbound games, like, you could get those for 50 cents because no one knows what those games are. And so at Toys R Us, whenever they're going out of business.
Yeah.
But that was a pestilence. But now it's all
Fortnite
digital.
skins.
Yeah, it's all Fortnite skins.
Yeah,
it's all shit you can't even put on a shelf anymore.
I can be Bender Futurama, and I can kill Goku, and I can spend $20 for this privilege.
Instead of spending $20 total to buy a Bender toy and a Goku toy and just bash them together to your heart's
and then
content.
like when I'm bored of Fortnite, I can still play with my Bender and my Goku,
right,
and smash them together.
And there's not a chance that like you buy the Bender toy, you buy the Goku toy, and then all of a sudden like Playmates, an executive from Playmates comes to your house like, hey, sorry, we lost a license. We have to take those toys back from you.
We have to repossess Goku.
Yeah, you can't have that anymore because we lost the license to that. You don't have that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's made, it's just made. It's just on your shelf.
Yeah, but
sorry,
we gotta wait. TMNT was made. Teenage Mutant Turtles was made for toys. To the point that it spawned like a generation of knockoffs, which was my entry point into the genre. Because I was not I didn't watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles until it was on the Fox box. Before that, I watched Extreme Dinosaurs, a spin-off of Street Sharks.
Street Sharks is what I thought you were going to say, but I have once again made the fatal error of underestimating my friend Justin, who from the day he was born has just found the most obscure media available to him. Baby Justin.
Not by choice.
Baby Justin was crawling around his parents' house, like, pulling out, like, bootleg VHSs they didn't even know that they owned, and was like, where did you find this? And he goes, Papa!
I was going to say, like, TMNT is, like, if you're imagining, like, a tree, the rings of a tree trunk, TMNT is the origin, and, like, Street Sharks is, like, 3rd or 4th tier. I would say, like, what? 2nd tier is Biker Mice from Mars, and then Street Sharks.
Maybe Battletoads, if you want to be generous.
Oh, Battletoads, yeah.
Oh, Battletoads.
I forgot. Oh, Battletoads. I forgot about that. I forgot
well,
about
that's the
Street
thing is,
Sharks.
everyone forgot about all the knockoffs.
Those Street Sharks toys were just like, you hear about like us swallowing microplastics. Those were just enormous, just fucking bricks.
Macroplastics.
You could kill a man with a Street Sharks toy.
In The Graduate, when that guy goes up to Benjamin and is like, the future is plastics, he meant Street Sharks. Like, that's what he was like, you're gonna make a fucking mint off of those things, kid. For like a show that I don't think lasted very long. I don't think Street Sharks was like around for
No, it existed long enough to have the Extreme Dinosaurs, and they exist, which would then get their own show that I watched too many tapes of from the Schnucks grocery store.
Back when you got like, when you could get like 2 episodes of Pokemon on a VHS tape. Yeah,
and not
Redbox. At the grocery store.
Not Redbox, but a whole like section.
Yeah, a whole aisle. It was God. I miss when things were real, guys.
It was the shut my fucking kid up aisle. You know? Kids just will not stop bothering me. It was like, will you be quiet if I buy you 2 episodes of Digimon on VHS?
Can you believe that I, as a kid, really had to shut the fuck up?
I would never believe it. You say it, and I can't.
I remember
can't cotton to it.
Fucking loved, as a little kid, I fucking loved the 1989 Tim Burton Batman. I loved the Batman animated series. I loved Mask of the Phantasm. Mm-hmm. I was such a huge Batman kid. And this was before, like, Nick at Night was around but didn't have the show. This is before I was aware of, like, the Adam West Batman. And I remember being in the video store at Kroger in West Frankfort, Illinois, and seeing, like, Batman the movie, but it was Adam West and Burt Ward in their Spirit of Halloween costumes. And I remember seeing, I'm like, what the hell is this? I forgot about grocery store video stors. My God.
They were everywhere. They were there.
They were a genuine childhood institution for me. That's how I learned about like the Full Moon Entertainment, like.
Oh yeah.
Pre-Hysteria, We're gonna watch a Full Moon movie at some point. It's gonna be one of my picks eventually.
Yeah, I mean they got a huge collection of it on Tubi. So,
yeah, no, like they were they were a huge part of the video store experience.
Yeah.
And they would produce, like, these things. You would just see his VHS, and you're like, as a kid, you're like, is there more of this? Or is this, like, the entirety of, like, this weird one-off animated thing? And there was no way to learn this information.
No, as far as you knew, that was the only tape of that show forever. Like, that could be the only 3 episodes of Rocko's Modern Life you would ever see. And that was what you had to be happy with. I have only seen 2 episodes of Monster Rancher. And they were... Because I had a tape of those 2 episodes of Monster Rancher. And that's all I've ever needed to see. Because I was 8, and I got to see, like, a dog with horns that shot ice, and his name was Tiger. And that was enough.
That's fucked up.
And that's all you need.
Yeah, we never had cable growing up. I'm sorry, we were talking about this instead of Turtles. We never had cable growing up, so, like, there's
real quick.
Yes?
I think what's happened, Mutant Mayhem is super good.
Super good.
And I think our conversation about it is going to be like, yeah, it's really good. And I think that's why we're doing
We'll get to it.
Anyway,
well, this is
Kevin.
all... I think this is part of the conversation around the Turtles, weirdly enough. You know what I mean? Like, this is part of their
the Turtles has
cultural history.
I think it is like it's sort of a joke at this point that how has this franchise with the stupidest fucking premise in the name lasted this long?
I know. We'll get to it. I'm sorry. My tiny little story. We never had cable growing up. I had, like, 2, 3 channels, whatever it was. And so there's so many shows that, like, everyone my age knows, like, back and forth, that I just have barely any conception of. Like, and there was just this one time where my grandma, grabbed a 6-hour VHS tape, stuck it in her cable machine, and, like, recorded one night of Nickelodeon programming. And that was, like... That was it for me for like 10 years. My understanding of Hey Arnold is 1 episode from 1 VHS tape. My understanding of Rocket Power is 1 episode.
Yeah.
It's not missing out.
Yeah.
Not missing
out. Ed and Eddie for years for me was like the thing you only saw in hotels.
Yeah.
That's where they lived, those nasty boys.
I have that now, like, and maybe this is because I'm a child or something, but like, anytime I figure out that I'm going to be in a hotel, I'm like, holy shit, I can watch Cartoon Network. I guess
that's a very real impulse for our generation. It is.
I can watch Cartoon Network. I can watch 12 episodes of Teen Titans Go.
Because
back to back.
Because in the year 2037, like, after the heat death of the universe, when we're all gone, if there's any TVs that are able to pick up power, they will be showing Teen Titans Go. That is like Teen Titans Go. If you don't turn on a Cartoon Network during Adult Swim hours, all you are getting is Teen Titans Go.
All you get is Teen
Titans. It is digital cockroaches.
There is going to be a Fallout bunker where there are 2 shows. There's going to be Cartoon Network with Teen Titans Go and Nickelodeon with SpongeBob, and you will not get to watch anything else. That's how the Fallout shelter will make the perfect serial killer.
And then you're in. But then there's one cool Fallout shelter that has MTV's current lineup, which is 24 hours of Rob Dyrdek's ridiculousness.
I once had a Grindr hookup where I show up at their apartment and I ask, like, hey, before we start fooling around, I ask, hey, do you want to just kind of, like, put something on to, like, set the mood? And they put that on.
Ridiculousness.
Yeah, the show that is 90% nut shots.
What mood are we trying to establish?
I feel that mood very profoundly, actually. I get that in a major way.
I never thought I'd have to ask someone to put on pornography as just anything else.
Anything else.
Anything but ridiculous. Can you have Robin Big at least? Come on.
Put on... No, okay, not Wild Boys. That's almost worse.
Yeah, don't put fucking Wild Boys. Yeah, you have Nitro Circus?
Can you just put put on I Love the 2000s. I can fuck to that.
Best week ever? You got any best week ever on that? On that box?
Best week ever.
On that machine?
Kids Cable was something else. Cable was truly throwing spaghetti at every wall, and
Can we
how
please
little of it stuck.
put on Best Week Ever? You don't understand. I have to watch Paul Scheer and Rob Huebel just say the most disgusting comments you'll ever hear about Britney Spears at the VMAs. You don't understand.
If I don't see Doug Benson, I can't finish.
If I can't see Michael Ian Black talking about Twin Peaks on I Love the 90s, like, I'm going to go insane. You have to.
Who is the show for? Mutant Mayhem.
Mutant Mayhem.
Good movie.
Mutant Mayhem. Good movie.
Super good movie.
Cute.
Really enjoyed it. I think it's one of those generational things where if you're born before this date, your preferred TMNT is that first animatronic live action movie.
The Henson.
If you're born at the Jim Henson one, if you're born after this date, it's Mutant Mayhem. I just think that's how it shakes out.
I actually was a Fox. My formative Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show was the Fox Box one.
Yes, of course.
The one where instead of swearing, they would just say, "What the shell?"
Of course.
The shell.
And my formative Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is, of course, famously Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze.
Of course.
Specifically, I'm an ooze kid. I'm a child of the
course.
ooze. Toka and Razor. These are my guys.
You want to understand? Kevin's a friend of Ooze.
Oh.
Exactly. Vern gets it.
They're babies. Oh. You know, I grew up in just like the armpit of America, West Frankfort, Illinois. just like
America's taint. West
just like
Frankfort,
fucking
Illinois.
nowhere. And of course, like
The
Kevin,
afterburp of America.
Yeah. Kevin, I'm sure Kevin, you got this. Justin, I don't know how much you got this, but like just this like drilling in your heads that like every city in America is just this like disgusting, crime-ridden, vile, like horrible place of sin and excess. And like
I lived in a suburb of St. Louis, so I don't think I got quite that because I was on the periphery of the city. I was on the periphery of the crime, like hell hive. My grandfather was worried about the knockout game, if that's anything. But the knockout game was this like urban rumor in like the early 2000s that gangs of young black men would go around and just knock out old people to see if they could. And I think it all spun from like one cop's testimony that turned out to be bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, what?
What? A cop lied on the stand? Amazing.
That rumor goes right next to the one that like every single person of our parents' generation believes, that like the apocryphal story that like, yeah, I saw this homeless guy begging for change, and then I turned around and he took off his homeless clothes and he was wearing a suit and he got no memo, you know, like that one story. That,
and
like,
if you see someone driving at night without their headlights on, don't flash your head, and you're in a city.
Right.
Don't flash your like headlights at them to remind them, hey, your headlights are off, because they will follow you home and kill you. That's part of the gang initiation.
Yes, exactly.
And make sure that if you see a hook on your car door, there is in fact a hooked-handed serial killer in the back seat. So you have to make sure the person driving behind you is flashing their high beams to keep the serial killer down until you get home.
Of course. Vern, as someone who lives and has lived in America's largest city for 6 years, there are two fundamental experiences of being a New Yorker. One is every single person from your hometown sending you erroneous messages and articles that like you are about to be actively killed. That like to walk through the streets of New York is to just be at a knife's point at any given moment. Whereas I have lived in New York for 6 years and I've never heard a gunshot. And the other fundamental New York experience is watching the place where you live get destroyed in movies over and over and over again. It's really weird. This is the second movie this year that we've talked about on this show where I'm like, that guy's destroying, like, my neighborhood. that guy's blowing up where I live, which is not something that happens as often to, like, Salt Lake City.
Only in New York, baby.
I want to see the movie where a kaiju just fucking levels, like, the temple and knocks over the tall building in
I
Salt
think we're the
Lake
boys to make it. I think.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, do you have an idea how much I've longed to see, like, a kaiju destroy the arch? Just to get rid of that fucking eyesore.
Just walk underneath it and just kind of like, he bumps his head on it and breaks it in half.
Yeah. That limbo's under the arch.
Real quick, I started this like forever ago, and I if I don't say it, I'll get an aneurysm. But like growing up in the Midwest, like, and I think this just carries on, which is why like you see grown men on the internet just like terrified of the thought of just like 5 different cities on a map. But like I just remember like being like hearing these horror stories about New York. New York was always like the Bowser of like the evil cities. You know what I mean? Like, and I remember watching that first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie with the Henson animatronics,
One
and
where
seeing
Raphael
like
says "damn."
See, he says a damn word, yeah, and
damn word.
But seeing the pickpocketing that happens at the beginning of that movie with that music, and I remember just like, this is real. This is, you know, like,
this is happening. Everyone in the Midwest watched The Freshman, starring Matthew Broderick and Marlon Brando, where like he gets robbed 1 second after being in New York City. They're like, this is what it's like over there.
I went full on like Rowdy Piper mode, and like, this is a documentary. This is a real. This is truly what it's like to be in New York.
This was happening. Jose Canseco bet.
Jose
Bet you didn't pay money for this.
I also, guys, I gotta say, this is one of the things I wanted to, again, I think Mutant Mayhem's super good. One of my favorite movies this year. I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is kind of like, for boys, a part of this, our cultural, like, Rosetta Stone. I feel like you can either say, like... Yeah, I feel like you can either say, like...
Turtles have, like... They've never gone away.
Yeah,
you know what I
feel like
there's always a turtle show on now. It's just which turtle show you grew up having access to.
No, I think Teenage Mutant Turtles have become like Batman. Like, they don't...
It's like Batman or...
It's kind of a perfect show.
Even what I mean by it... Well, what I mean by that statement is just like... It's either like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or like Dragon Ball Z. If you meet a new kid on the playground that you've never seen before... You can either say, like, do you know Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you have a best friend now? Or you can say, do you know Dragon Ball and you have a best friend now? It's just like, they're so omnipresent and there's so much of it that, like, so you can just, like, you can make friendships just based on, like, having seen the same thing.
That's why with my media tastes, I've never been able to make friends.
Right, because nobody knows those biker mice.
I was the only One Piece kid in middle school.
Damn, being the One Piece kid, at least back in our day, you're on a lonely island, baby. You're on a fucking
still am.
Heavy is the head.
You might as well be on fucking Marineford. How alone you are.
Heavy is the head that wears the straw hat.
That's very good. I feel like Turtles is in exactly the same basket as Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
Where it has never really gone away. For whatever reason, there's something just sticky about this.
Probably the ooze.
The eponymous ooze. It has a nice ring to it. Ooze.
Well, it's a
and there's
perfect
always
dynamic.
a new. There's just something. There's just they found something. It's just it's a perfect dynamic. It can scan through the ages, even though, like, you know, the original version feels very of its time, but you're like, yeah, but this, like, kind of person that we're riffing on can be extrapolated upon through time, and we just turn them into a turtle in the same way that, like, somehow there's something, like, immortal about Mystery Inc., even though, like, these are equally stupid ideas.
Right.
And, like, Hanna-Barbera also threw out, like, a million different iterations of the exact same thing, but just for whatever reason.
For whatever reason, Jabberjaw didn't catch on in the same way.
But just like Scooby got something. We don't know what it is. It's Speed Buggy did not catch on in the same way.
But surely the Funky Phantom, Kevin.
No, the Funky Phantom didn't catch on. The Hair Bear Bunch, none of them. They didn't catch on. Not in the way that Scooby has. And has remained and has been locked in. And the Turtles are in the same camp, but I think there's a fundamental question that the three of us need to address. Who's your favorite turtle?
Damn.
I mean, we're all Donatello, right?
No. See, I would have assumed this was a Mikey crew, but I'm not a Mikey guy.
Neither am I.
So you're a Donatello guy.
I'm a Donatello guy through and through.
Interesting. Bold. Interesting.
What are you?
Yeah, Kevin, what are you?
I
think I know.
I am sadly, despicably, a Leonardo guy.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I knew
I'm
it.
sorry.
I hoped otherwise, but...
I don't want to be a Leonardo guy in
No
the same
one
way
does.
that when I read X-Men, I don't want to be a Cyclops guy. But it's like... It's the die I've been cast. I am the guy who has to, like, send the text message of, like, can you guys please send me your scripts? Like, you know, like, I'm just... That's my lot in life. And I must accept that. I am the Boy Scout. I am the Buzz. It plays into my hall monitor tendencies.
Mm-hmm. Your RA mindset.
The three of the us, who is an RA. And I'm not, I'm not a buzzkill RA, but that is what has happened to me. That is how it works. I'm a Leonardo guy.
It is your lot
fundamentally
in life.
Through and through. It's my lot in life. I'm sorry. I'm the worst one. I saw
it's a whenever I was it's kind of interesting. Whenever I was a young kid, I was most definitely a Michelangelo guy. Adored Michelangelo. Big fan of Michelangelo. And then in my teens, mid-teens, late teens, I became a Donatello guy. But an interesting thing happened when watching Mutant Mayhem is in the years of my turtle watching, like, Leonardo has been the one I related to the least. But one thing did happen while watching Mutant Mayhem, that moment where Leonardo's like, guys, we got to get back home. Like, Splinter's dad's going to be upset with us. And that, like,
bro spoke to my child's soul of, like, guys, we're going to get in trouble.
That was like, it was a thing where, like, not getting. We all know that I'm the baby with the mental health issues. It was the thing.
Baby, we all got
you're
mental
talking
health.
to two other men also with mental health.
I mean, I'm not discounting your guys' experiences, but I'm the one who's just most. You can always tell with me. But I will say, like, whenever I was watching this one, I was like, this whole, like, fear of trouble because you're trying to be a good boy, like, that registered with me as part of a Leonardo person. Yes. And also, again, not to peel back the curtain too much, but through the couple years of therapy and counseling that I've been going through here in Salt Lake City, there is part of me that, like, looks back at pictures of me as a baby and I go, what the fuck happened to this kid? I'm gonna hold you fuckers responsible for this. And that makes me feel a little Raphael. And I think part of what makes the Turtles like permeate so much is that there is the margins on those four personalities are just opaque enough that you can latch onto them.
Yes.
And
they are the 4 universal experiences of young men.
They're the 4 humors. It's like a Sex and the City thing, or like any, group of 4. It's like this is just like, these are the 4 types of person you can be.
Mm-hmm. And I think just like as they keep growing, and as turtles, let's like keep being a thing, like, and hopefully if you're a Ken at the end of Barbie and you're exploring what your role in this society is, like, as time goes on, you can move about the turtle van a little bit.
It's in fact healthy too.
Yeah, and like I at this time in my life I felt a little bit more Michelangelo, but right now I feel a little bit Raphael.
Okay, but that's the thing is that no one like as a child. Yeah, you latch onto the one turtle because you're a child and your perspective is limited because you've only been around like a decade and change.
And also, I think when you're a child, like, your favorite color factors very heavily into what your favorite turtle is.
That is partially
when you're an
why
adult.
I was a Donatello guy, even though I loathe machines and always have. He's the purple one, so that's why I latched onto him. But I do,
and he types like this.
I would argue adulthood is in fact realizing you are all turtles.
It depends on the situation.
You will in fact, hopefully, you will have opportunities to be a leader, be the mad guy, be the fun guy, and be the smart guy. That is in fact what it takes to become a well-rounded adult.
It's a different turtle depending on the situation. You know what I mean? Because I'm in groups of creative people, I am a Leonardo. But like in the business world, I guess I'm a Raphael or something. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on the context. If there's too many Leonardos, you kind of need to slink back and become like a Michelangelo to counterbalance it. It's just part of navigating the adult world. You're going to be slightly different depending on like the people that you're around. I think that's very natural.
As long as you're a Mondo gecko and not a Gordon gecko.
Tell me about it. That guy loves stocks.
And not stock that you'd have in Shredder's turtle soup, because that is the only thing Shredder's got. Like, he comes in and he's like, I'm going to do my turtle soup line, and then hopefully I can kill these guys because I got nothing else.
No other personality.
I've got nothing else to, like, insult these
Shredder is
the Fox
fundamentally
version actually did make him interesting in that they made him just an evil Krang, like a Krang alien.
Oh, fun.
Where he was like a war criminal trapped on, like, imprisoned on Earth. So, like, his whole Shredder goal was to get off of Earth and go back to conquering the galaxy. That's
cool.
That's something. That's
Shredder,
a character motivation.
Shredder is a testament to the idea that, like, in a cartoon or comic book medium, a good character design will take you 90% of the way.
Very much a Boba Fett type.
Indeed. Like, nothing else going on, but there's just something about the design of this person that, like,
Casey
a child
Jones
especially
has more personality than the Shredder.
Don't you say Casey Jones with that indignant tone.
Jones fucking
here's the thing.
rules.
I could talk like, I'm technically Donatello. I was a Casey kid. I loved the big galoot in the hockey mask and the golf bag full of, like, sports
hockey
equipment.
sticks and cricket
bats and golf clubs. Like, I was a Casey guy.
Casey's cool. I love Casey Jones.
Casey's the best.
There is a
genuine absence from the film.
I missed Casey, but also
there was no time. You couldn't fit him in edgewise. There's already way too much going on in this movie.
I missed him, but also I realized, like, there's too much here. Part of the maybe this is why I say it's the Turtles are kind of like a Rosetta Stone. Another reason why I say it's just like every group of friends I've ever acquired, like, that I've ever been a part of, that I've ever, like, been close with, I have some sort of, like, Turtles experience with. Whether it's, like, playing Shredder's Revenge with you and Forrest and my wife, whether it's watching all 4 of the Turtles movies before like Michael Bay came out, the Michael Bay ones came out with my friend Mark. It's always just like they just keep, and they're just they're a good, like, the Turtles are a weird kind of like background music for friends, like guy friends. But I remember when we watched all 4 of those, the 3 live action ones with the animatronic turtles, and then that bad CG one that's just called TMNT. I remember, like, in the 3rd one, like, Casey's not in that second Spirit of the Ooze, Secret of the Ooze at all. But he pops up in that 3rd one, and seeing, like, Casey walk in that 3rd one felt like your cool friend from high school that you've not seen since then, like, arriving at the high school reunion. You're like, Casey's here. Oh,
Casey Jones is the young adult who hangs out with the teens and, like, buys them beer.
Yes. That's why he's great.
Yeah, exactly. That was not a disparagement against my good friend Casey Jones.
Casey Jones is the guy who
close personal associate, Casey Jones,
and he buys you condoms. That's Casey.
Casey Jones has a fucking van with a spray painted mural on the side. Casey's cool. Casey will tell you about music, man. Casey will be like, you gotta listen to this fucking record, dude. And you know what? It'll be good if Casey
Jones has a playlist on his Spotify that is like what the Beatles album would have been if they kept going after Abbey Road. That's like all of their solo songs. Casey's just a cool guy. Casey's rules.
Just a cool guy. He might not fit into society's standards, but if Shredder falls in the back of a dump truck, he's gonna go, oh, whoops,
while he murders him. He just brutally murders Shredder. Yeah.
Oops.
Whoopsie.
It's the coolest thing anybody's ever done. But I think, okay, because we're not gonna walk through the plot of this movie. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I think there's 3 fundamental decisions that were made in the construction of this movie that I think are key to why it works and why it doesn't feel like super, super stale, despite the fact that, there's been nonstop Turtles for 40 years. One, as we previously discussed, lack of Shredder.
Yes. I think it's focused. Because TMNT is it's a hairy franchise. Because there isn't just ninjas, there isn't just robots and mutants, there's also time travel. There's also aliens, both Krangs and Triceratons, who are like Triceratops people from another planet, and they have gladiators. Right. Usagi Yojimbo shows up.
I mean, hell yeah, now we're fucking talking. It's my dude. But I think if you go up to a person on the street, a regular person with a regular brain, and you ask them...
Wouldn't know if I saw one.
You ask them, list villains of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Shredder they got.
Yeah,
maybe a Bebop and Rocksteady, not by name. They
would say, the Warthog guy. And, I think is he a hippo?
What's going on there? Yeah. And then, I mean, a scant 10% might be able to find you, like, the little brain guy. Krung. Yes, I think that's
Krang's new groove.
Pivoting away from that and having a different villain, I think, was a good choice. It's something different than Turtles, Turtle Stew, as we've discussed.
It's also focused because the movie is focused entirely on just there being mutants at all, and that's it. It doesn't introduce any other concepts like
what is a mutant identity,
ninjas, like cybernetic ninjas, like Triceratops aliens, like time travel. Like we don't need that shit. We're just trying to establish, hey, there's a slime that makes animals into people, and that's all we need.
But also, like, if you're gonna have this like fucking cool ass character design by Woodrow White, son of Wayne White, production designer on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, I followed him on Instagram a long time ago. Didn't know that he did designs for this film. He did some sick ass character portraits.
You also get Nickelodeon somehow still the only kids media company that recognizes that kids like fucked up character design. They like to see ugly people.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, you're doing a disservice to the totally rad art style that you've done, that you've made for this movie. If you have one bad guy, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's just you have and
the art style that you mentioned, I think, is the second key decision. Is like, we are committing to this, and listen. The impact of Into the Spider-Verse on American animation cannot be overstated. You cannot undercredit how much that movie, which did not do incredibly well financially when it came out, like, unlocked something in American studio animation that, like, it doesn't all have to look this one way. It doesn't have to look like a 3D Disney cartoon. We can do a Puss in Boots, a bad guy.
Can I actually posit an earlier inspiration, the Lego Movie?
I mean, hey, listen, I'm willing to give those guys credit for whatever.
A movie that not only, broke the, explicit, that hyper smooth DreamWorks, Pixar, Disney original, Tangled look, but also added a sense of tactility. This movie, because, there are parts of Mutant Mayhem that almost look stop motion. That are, extremely textured in ways that Into the Spider-Verse is not. Into the Spider-Verse is it has, a lot, it's not textured. There's not, a feel to that the way that Mutant Mayhem looks like I could, pick up Mutant Mayhem looks toyetic in ways that Into the Spider-Verse is not.
Yeah, and there's this scribble effect. I don't know how else to describe it. When light is leaking out of a TV or something, or we see a light in the distance, it has this it feels just like a hand drawn scribble light effect that is so cool and tactile.
This movie has two directors, but only one is ever mentioned in any of the media surrounding it. But the one that's mentioned is he's directed Mitchell's versus the Machines. But he has stated
a very scribbly movie.
He wanted the movie to look like, notebook scribbles from high school.
Totally.
And I think that was
mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. But it's also just such the perfect call for something like this, because I think part of what the Turtles do is just as you were saying earlier, character design goes, we'll do 90% of the work for you. But I think there's just so many folks that the beginnings of their journey towards making art, and maybe this is the beginnings of their journey, but also where it stopped. I think there's every boy at some point in their life has attempted to draw the Turtles. And I think just something I think having that art style for this movie really dials into that. It's that feeling that I don't know, just seeing the first time I ever saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a box of toys my grandma got for me at a yard sale. And I didn't know what the fuck these four guys were. It wasn't until I was in my 20s that I learned that 3 of the toys I had in that box were actually Toxic Crusaders. But it didn't matter, because I was just these guys look cool. And
the yard sale box of anonymous toys.
Yeah.
Is that we're talking about a grocery store VHS? You know what I mean?
No, but that just
gets dropped.
Oh god, the trash bag full of old McDonald's toys.
Yeah,
was a treasure. You might as well have just kicked open a treasure chest.
Yes, and they all come tumbling out, and you've no fucking idea what they are. There's no labels, there's no box or whatever, and you're like, okay, this is Archangel from the X-Men, and this is a G.I. Joe, and they're hanging out, they're interacting, because I don't know who any of these people are.
I guess this is from the Atlantis movie, but I can't tell if it's Burger King or Wendy's.
And that's how you know it's quality. Mm-hmm. As if you can't tell what fast food chain it originated from.
I just think that that the art style attached to this movie just like dials into that, like, I don't know, I think that's part of why this movie works so much, is it just like, despite this being the 7th, 8th Turtles movie, if you include the Fox Box original movie Turtles Forever, the Spider-Verse movie before the Spider-Verse movie, I think it just dials into that, like, discovering this thing for the first time feeling.
Well, because it taps into, like, physicality. It taps into, like, the material sense of having toys and having a notebook to draw adventures about them in. It actually takes the fun of taking your Wingnut and like Leatherhead action figures and like bashing them together, and then while you're at school and you can't play with your toys, you have to then scribble, well, okay, if Wingnut's gonna go in like then Leatherface is gonna come in like nah. And
if I had my toys right now, this is what I would be doing with them. I'll draw it out. Yeah.
And I think, and that, man, I don't know. I hope kids are still getting that. I hope kids still, like, get to enjoy that anymore.
Well, I do think, too, part of what the Turtles did for me is just because, like, I was introduced to them through, like, a big box of them. It does, like, force you to use your imagination, because you're like, I don't know who these fucking guys are. I don't know how they know each other. I have to make it up.
Yeah.
And so, like, this movie does have that kind of, like, just dumped over box of rummage sale toys kind of feel to it. Because you're just like, you know, just you see Mondo Gecko in a car with Rocksteady with Wingnut.
Like, and that's what I think is the genius of introduce. Like, and I think there is like a name for this team, that like the Mutanimals or some shit. Is
Who
that
cares?
It introduces the fact that like anyone could be a mutant, which is fun. It sets the precedent of like, if you could. A mutant Sona, Baby's first furry. If you could, no, and I mean that sincerely. Of like,
this movie's gonna make a lot of scalies, let me tell you.
If you could be a mutant, what kind of mutant would you be? That's fun in ways that, like, the previous iterations of the Turtles, where it's just 4 mutants fighting ninjas. It's like there's there's less personalization. Where instead of having to kind of graft yourself onto one of the 4 turtles, Mutant Mayhem opens the concept that anyone could be a mutant, and it leaves you space to then imagine what kind of mutant you'd be. Mm-hmm. Which is a much richer seam for imagination and creativity.
Well, and also just that like thing of just like, because boys and young males are actively discouraged from ever like doing anything about their mental health, it does like lean into that, like those feelings of just like, oh, April O'Neil by all like seems like a normal person, but she feels like a mutant as well. Mm-hmm. And it just like dials into that those feelings that you have as a young kid of just like feeling like an other, feeling like you don't belong, feeling how
a franchise that's all about feeling like a freak in your own body, where you don't really fit, where nothing seems to work right, and and it's changing.
Cannot be scanned under the teenage experience.
How it feels like when you walk into a chain link improv for the first time, or whenever you have your first Zoom call with the Melons or whatever, where you're like, oh my god, these guys are all weird too, and they're so fucking cool. Mm-hmm. Like, it just it helps invigorate those like feelings of community that you don't always get, and that's a cool thing that's a cool trick for a movie to pull off.
Nothing more inspiring than finding a freak like me.
Yeah, dude.
Too true.
There's a third thing you had, Kevin.
That is absolutely, and I think this is perhaps the most important decision that they made when they were considering making Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles : Mutant Mayhem, which is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in this film are actually fucking teenagers for once in their entire
What
history.
happened is that Seth Rogen went at the pitch meeting where Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was written on a whiteboard, and he wrote an S after teenager and then a dollar sign.
They underlined it 3 times. Teenagers. They are a teenager. They're not like, because if you go back and you watch, those like Henson movies, they're good. They're charming.
Elderly men.
Those are 40-year-old men. And even like, every time they do a cartoon, it's like Seth Green or whatever. These are teenagers, unknown teenage actors.
They look like
doing these
teenagers.
parts.
They've got
Yes,
like
they
weird
look like-
gangly bodies.
Yes, they have weird bodies, they have cool voice, and they feel very current in the way they're like, talking all over each other. It feels like I'm watching fucking Bob's Burgers, the way they're just sort of like piling dialogue. What is this, an Altman film? The way they're piling dialogue on top of dialogue, but it's like, it feels very natural. I would be not surprised to learn if they like recorded this all in the same booth at the same time.
They totally
just
did.
like get that energy, get that back and forth.
They had multiple sessions where it's the 4 turtles together, where it's the 4 turtles and Ice-T together, where it's the 4 turtles and
Iowa Debris.
Io Debris, the best Hollywood Handbook guest in the studio together.
And good for Iowa Debris. She's finally having her time. She's having her summer of Io.
I think too, just like this is the first time like they ever tried to do that teenage thing, and it like with an earnest try. I think like kids have like young children have such good like bullshit detectors.
Yeah.
And
kids hate phonies.
And like we can tell when we're watching, the OC that Ryan is a 35-year-old man and he's not a high school kid. But like there's a moment.
The OC's still good, but those are
OC's
adults.
still,
those are when I'm watching Gossip Girl. It's like those are grown ass people, which is why I'm fine with their schemes because they're adults.
They're adults, but there's a moment in this one where it's like, and I can't remember what it is, but there's this like a full minute where it's just all 4 turtles just like doing a bit with each other.
Riffing.
And so that's all it is. They're all just riffing, and they're all riffing over like saying a word funny, and that's all it is. And like I cannot count how many times I have had that experience with 3 other guys. That's just like
it's here in this podcast.
It's called Movies for Babies.
We've
Yeah.
riffed over less.
It's called Puffin. It's called I know, and that helps. Having like 4 actual teenagers in there, like just doing those bits and acting like normal humans do, and not acting like fucking giant forehead James Hurley in Twin Peaks, like them actually feeling like teenagers, like it helps. It helps tremendously. It helps like make the movie feel real.
They did a really good job doing distinct character designs too.
Yeah.
Which is like it's incredible how long it took them to get there. Where like it used to be like, yes, you did 1 model of turtle because you had 1 toy mold, and it's easier to change colors of plastic than to change the shapes. And by the dint of advanced engineering, we could have different shaped turtles that could, dare I say, reflect their personalities.
Don't you say that.
We can
You take that back.
We can create an environment where we don't have mistakes, where the turtle that you're seeing is wearing Raphael's colors, but he's talking in Michelangelo's voice while he's holding a bow staff. You don't have that situation you don't have those situations anymore. Like that happened twice an episode of the 80s cartoon. Because they're all so distinct and look different and sound different and feel different. It's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, no, like there was the second most recent iteration one, which was Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just straight up made them different species. Like,
oh, that's cool.
Where Raph is a snapper turtle, Leo is like a red band turtle, where they have like red streaks over their eyes, and he's like normal. Michelangelo's a box turtle, so he's the only one who can like go into his shell. And Donatello
cool.
is a soft-shell turtle, so he has, like,
cool.
a mech backpack.
That's fun.
That's
nice.
the first Nickelodeon iteration of the Turtles, right?
The second one. The first one was a CGI show.
That's right. That's right.
From the movie, from the film.
No, it was different from TMNT.
Oh, okay.
It was just a wholly different creature. There was like...
I give up.
They got Ron Paulson back for it, because he voiced Raph in the first show. And then they got him back to play Donatello for the first Nickelodeon show. And then he was the guy who I think he was the voice acting director for Rise.
They should get him back now.
Yeah.
And he can be like, I'm 16 years old.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like when you watch like modern Animaniacs, and they're like, I'm Yakko.
Well, no, my favorite part of watching modern Futurama is that now Fry sounds exactly like Professor Farnsworth.
If you watch like modern Simpsons, you're like, is Julie Kavner alive? Like, oh, Bart. It's like, Jesus. Me. Or like, the worst
she's
is
just making like mummy screeches.
Marge starts speaking, and you're like, I think the speakers on our TV are broken.
Yeah, is this like, we go
Marge
back to like
starts speaking
hi-fi?
and like dogs start barking next door.
Yeah.
Like
The
all
worst
the
is-
birds outside your building fly away.
The worst is Harry Shearer, because he wasn't young when the show started, and now it's like, I'm Mr. Burns. You can like hear a man die. You can hear a man's final word.
He finally sounds how Mr. Burns looks.
Jesus. Those are what I think are special about this movie, which I had a fun time watching in the movie theater. If it seems like your thing, you should go see it.
Yeah. What do you guys think of
I
gay
imagine-
Splinter?
Yeah,
What?
Oh, Splinter's gay.
Is
no,
he?
he's not gay.
He likes
No,
the
that
bug
was
lady.
that was the right wing talking point. Was like, okay, yeah, because the quartering, that fucking unbelievable piece of shit was like, sent out a tweet, was like, oh, so they made Splinter gay. Of course they did. And whereas like this movie goes out of its way to show that Splinter is straight as hell. Like this,
that he's
this movie,
straight, he's lonely, he misses,
Yeah.
like, he wants a
Splinter
lady.
wants-
He's
Like,
trying to find hot mutant ladies online, like he mentions that, and then like at the end he's with a bug lady. Sorry, Splinter's straight. Splinter, conservative Splinter, undefeated. I was worried we'd have to make him a log cabin Republican, but it turns out he's right down the line. Turtles, I'm okay if you're gay, but don't rub it in my face.
Can we get the rainbow back, please?
I can only imagine. I'm not on X anymore, and I got out way before. But I can only imagine that person, whoever you just talked about, Kevin.
Quarterling.
Don't learn.
I'm assuming they just never watched
I think he was
this movie,
a guy
right?
who got banned from Magic the Gathering tournaments for refusing to shower.
Oh, that's my.
I gotta say, because like if you're at a Magic the Gathering tournament, the stink, bar is already adjusted. You know what I mean? Like we're already like grading on a curve for the stink bar at the Magic tournament. If you're exceeding
If a man
MTG stink,
if a man with
Paradigm.
audible stink lines puts on a clothespin and tells you to leave.
I don't like Mutant Mayhem clotheslines are just animated over him, if that person approaches him.
The anti-pie lines, whatever the opposite of the pie scent lines are.
pie scent that beckons you in. It's a scent that goes like, no.
No, what happens is that the scent lifts you up and then slams you on the ground and pushes you away.
Picks
Gives
you
you a
up and
noogie.
spins you around and pushes you out.
Yeah, it does a lariats you.
It puts you on a chokehold.
Gives you a
Just
running clothesline.
Two wispy green lines at 50% opacity, just beating the fuck out of you, picking you up by your underwear, giving you a wedgie and your collar of your shirt, and throwing you out the front door.
And it doesn't help that the quartering talks like a more embarrassing, like Sylvester the cat. Like,
Oh no!
Like it's somehow shrill. He's shrill in a way that's even more grating.
We're just lucky that Splinter doesn't know how to live stream. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That he'll never figure out that technology because he has some thoughts.
I can't imagine, like,
because he's an old Jewish man, basically.
I just can't imagine, like, it has to be that person just never watched the movie, right? I can't imagine someone coming out of this movie, and I can't imagine someone, like, looking at the promotional materials and be like, yep. Yay. I can't. I just can't.
The Quartering wouldn't have a career if he had media literacy.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, I guess that's part of it.
Basically, The Last Jedi and Captain Marvel were, like, his bread and butter. Like, he wasn't even around for Gamergate. He was, like, 4 or 5 years after.
It was easy to be a content farmer before COVID. You had Last Jedi, you had Captain Marvel, you didn't need anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, my one complaint about this movie, and it's not about the movie at all, but it is about my experience going to it. And this is a problem that I really only encounter with movies for babies movies. But, like, before I saw this movie, I saw trailers for the Marvels, plural, Blue Beetle, a new Trolls movie, the new Paw Patrol movie.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the one about
Inspector Sun? The bugs.
No, I didn't see the
movie?
bugs. Did you see the one that was at, like, the summer camp that felt like a movie from 2006?
The one that's about, like, theater kids?
I didn't see that in front of this movie, but I just saw, like, this Blue Beetles, Trolls, Inspector Sun, Marvel, Paw Patrol, and I was just thinking about, like, I don't know, do you guys ever just think about just, like, how much brain damage you just accumulate just going through your normal day?
No, Vern, that's my normal media diet.
Oh, okay, gotcha. It was just like, so whenever, like, the lights finally dimmed, I was like, thank God.
You don't have to prepare for a movie that is mostly TV shows.
That's really why people fucking applaud for the Nicole Kidman ad at AMC, because it's like, oh my god, the fucking trailers are over.
I'm so glad she gets to remind me of Jurassic World.
Yeah, fuck. She loves Jurassic World. She loves Creed 1. And who doesn't?
Well, there's not, to my knowledge, there's not any AMCs here in Utah, so I've never seen the Nicole Kidman ad.
Wait, so do you only get Marcus?
No,
do you get the Marcus ogres before every movie?
No, we're a Regal family here in Utah.
Consider it a blessing you don't have the Marcus family leering over you before any motion picture.
Not that I have any, like, real brand allegiance. It's just, it seems like all the theaters around here are Regal, with the exception of, like, the Broadway.
So if you have the Regal, then you have the movie quotes ad? Did the movie quotes ad precede this film?
What's the movie quotes ad?
It, at least for a period of time, played before every movie at the Regal cinemas. And it was this ad of just like 1,000 people entering the movie theater, and then one of them would go, "Somebody stop me!" And then the other one would go like, "Do not go in there." Woo!
Nah.
And then, like, they go up to the concession stand, and then they're like, check, please.
Everyone's favorite movie quote.
They go
the one that I get all the time, here now is just, like, 17 layers of, like, mats with an open, transparent PNG in the middle, where you're just like, you're going through a carnival, and there's a window at the ticket taker booth, and then you go through that window, and then you're in a rainforest, and there's a little window that's tiny that has vines through it, and you just keep going through these. I know this because one of them looks exactly like an open, like, tomb, like from Jerusalem, and I'm like, are they doing that to court the Bible crowd? And then what's funny is, like, it just, like, you keep going through, and, like, there's a tomb one that looks like the tomb that Jesus was like walked out of, and after that one there's like a science fiction room, and that makes me laugh.
Ooh.
What it always does is, like, it always spits out at this, like, super, like, as close as you can get to a beginning of a Disney movie kingdom that you can possibly get legally. So like a big castle, and there's a dragon, and there's a hot air balloon, but then it says something about like, this is the only way, this is the only type of screen to experience a movie on. You know, just like one of those like, God, thank you so much for coming here to see a movie and not watching it on your cell phone. Thank you so much. Oh my God, you don't know how happy we are to see you. Just like one of those, like, one of those things.
Like, sort of like reverse Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Like, they're desperate to please you because you're absent.
Yeah.
We get a lot of those whenever we go to the non-Broadway theater here in Utah.
Okay. Well, I did put the cursed commercial in the chat, so whenever that I saw that before movies multiple times, and it drove me near suicide.
No, it can't be worse than the Marcus Cinema.
No, Justin, it's worse.
No.
It doesn't matter what the Marcus Cinema ones is. Justin Grumroth.
Okay.
Justin Grumroth.
Yeah.
I went to a podcast live show where they did nothing but show movie theater pre-roll content.
Oh my God. That's the most podcast content thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
It was great. It was sold out. It's the 4th biggest venue in New York City, and they sold it out. And this ad, and this ad that I have put in the chat, I mean, I was worried there was going to be a violent revolt in the Mosaic Theater. I was worried they were going to start ripping chairs out of the ground.
It turned Mosaic into the...
Oh God. God, Justin. Jesus Christ. Jesus.
I'm cutting that out. I'm sorry.
Please do.
Never
I immediately regret that
take things
gag.
out, but good God.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm just going to bleep it, and then everyone gets to hear our reaction. And we'll forever wonder what Justin said. History will never remember, because I'll burn every copy. So this has been your Movies for Babies on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
No, you got to finish it. What happened? Whenever did they play this?
They played that ad, and the reactions were violent. The reactions were
like it was Christopher Reeve on screen.
Like when the Taylor Swift audience recently caused a minor 2.6 earthquake.
Yeah,
that basically happened in the Mosaic Theater in Brooklyn, New York. I mean, it was a bad scene. It was people.
Kevin, this is nothing.
No, it isn't.
This is.
Don't say that.
Okay, it's not fair. I'm not
you're trivializing our
This is
trauma.
not nothing. This is, this is in fact something, but this is nothing. This is nothing compared to just the craggliest, the most wrinkly Jewish men just leering over the 20-foot tall theater screens, basically committing Me Too in front of you as they're
Jesus Christ,
making their employees fangirl over them. And there's multiple generations, so there is you're just seeing they could get wrinklier. They could have more. There are more folds in a human face than you had ever thought possible. Ears could not get bigger, and they do, and it's just horrific as just these wretched men insist that they're so happy to have you over as they hold you hostage for their motion picture experience. I'm sorry, Kevin, as cringe as this video may be, there is nothing worse, truly nothing worse than a Marcus Family Cinema intro.
So find one and send it to me. I will fucking tell you whether or not it's up to snuff.
There's one that I cannot talk, because I'm not I try to be sensitive. I try to be aware that we're a vast tapestry, and just everyone on this planet comes from a different walk of life. But I'm a dumb idiot. Like, I'm a clumsy person, and I'm not sensitive enough and delicate enough to, like, talk about it with, like, because I know, like, I will just, like, I'll end up, like, just saying something horrible accidentally. But there is one that I saw frequently whenever I lived in Missouri, and it always bummed me out, but I cannot talk about it. I cannot talk about it because of the subject matter, and I cannot talk about it because of the cast that they had involved.
Wow.
And I cannot talk about it, but it was just doof. I don't know. I think, like, those movie intro, I don't know, it's just like, they're so stupid. Like, who cares? Like, the only one that's ever been good is the Nicole Kidman one. I don't.
Correct.
The only exception being, let's all go to the movies. The dancing.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Yeah, I don't know why they do it, apart from the fact that, like, theater owners were terrified they were going to go bankrupt for a couple years there, and just absolutely terrified, and the only thing they can think to, like, let's not ever let that happen again is just like, I guess we try being nice. Like, the only thing I can think of to, like, maybe that will make people come back if we just try being nice. I mean, let's still put, like, let's still make 9 out of 10 auditoriums in this theater play the Ant-Man movie, because we have no choice but to accept the money.
I mean, yeah, they signed that contract that says you have to turn over 80% of your screens to this.
But I just I can't. Those pre-roll ads, the only thing I can think is just, like, they're so just like, please don't ever leave me. I need you, please.
What do you want? You want Academy Award winner Nicole Kidman? What do you want?
What do you want?
I need Film Mother.
I need Film Mother.
I need Film Mother. I need The Film Mother, which is the next film on Movies for Babies, because they eat a baby.
In The Film Mother.
In The Film Mother. But actually, I don't know what our next film is.
Oh.
Only Vern Tooley knows.
Oh.
I know it's a tight 90.
It's a tight
clue I have.
It's a tight 91.
Now, I assume...
Oh.
Now, I'm guessing here. You know, since your pick is falling in the month of October, is it going to be a little spooky?
It is. Not in a conventional way. Whenever I became aware that I would be next on the rotation after Barbie, after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, you
had a couple months to think about it.
I had
really,
a couple
really
months.
Marinate.
And for the longest time, my choice was a different movie than the one I'm getting ready to say. But it was between 2 movies, the one I'm getting ready to say and the one that will have to be left for next time I come up in the rotation. But in light of recent events, I think there's only one choice. I think the movie that I was going to pick is going to have to get put on the back burner. In light of recent events, folks, the next movie we're going to talk about on Movies for Babies, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh.
I think it was between that and another movie, and then real life happened in a very sad way, and I think it's the only choice. And and it's a perfect October choice because those fucking clowns and fucking Large Marge are the scariest things ever put to cinema. Celluloid.
Directed by Tim Burton.
Yeah, I'm scared already. I've never seen it. This will be a dry Pee-wee.
Wow.
I think you're in for a treat.
You're going to find out why exactly Vern and I are so fucked up.
You're going to find out so much about not just me and Justin, but, like, I want to say, like, a third of your friends, Kevin. Like, you're going to... things are going to click about so many people in your life whenever you finally see this movie.
Well, I look forward to the experience.
Good.
Me too. It's a movie that I've carried with me my whole life, and I think it's only right, R.I. Pee-wee, to talk Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And that's my choice. And then we'll have to find out, I don't know, like 17 movies from now, what my other one was going to be.
It's actually probably, I think the runway is pretty clear from here on out. You know what I mean? I'm not aware of any other like appointment viewing.
I don't see any hot topics for 2024.
Yeah, I think like maybe our next appointment like in theater viewing is Sonic the Hedgehog 3 in December 2024.
Yeah, I don't think Killers of the Flower Moon is a movies for babies movie.
Sadly. Dune.
I don't know. Maybe Kung Fu Panda 4.
I haven't seen any of them. It'd be weird to start there. I guess I'm not against it. I guess, whatever. I bet I can pick up on it. I bet if I watched Kung Fu Panda 4, I could like put the pieces together.
I've actually never seen any Kung Fu's either, so going into the 4th installment blind would be interesting.
We could watch Kung Fu Hustle instead.
Ooh.
Or Kung Pao. Those are both movies for babies.
Ooh, yeah. But yeah, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. 91 minutes. Not 90, but 91. But yeah.
Pushing it.
Pushing it.
But that's okay. We're looking forward to it. And either, maybe this turtle episode drops right when I get done editing it, or maybe it drops in September when it's technically supposed to. Who knows? But in October, we'll be back, and we'll talk a little Pee-wee. We'll be on the other side of a little production,
Yeah. I'll be on the other side of 2 productions.
Wow.
So, what perfect way to talk about, what a better time to talk about Pee-wee's Big Adventure than during a period of art-caused delirium.
Honestly, it sounds conceptually perfect. Again, I've not seen the film, but it feels like those dominoes line right up, actually. Perfect. Anyway, I have another show, Run the Julias, where I watch every movie starring Julia Roberts. That's also monthly.
Let me know when you get to Mirror Mirror.
Listen, we can bump it up the list based upon, guests requesting things. The first couple are just me and old Cat Scott, but soon, we're gonna want to juice those downloads.
A pleasant surprise to hear at the end of the last month episode on Barbie.
Oh yeah, no, killer epilogue.
They sent me that. They asked if they could guest, and I said no one can ever guest on this show. They will be bulldozed like Michael McDonald in Austin Powers. They will be, you know what I mean?
Steamrolled into a human pancake.
They'll be steamrolled like Kevin Kline in A Fish Called Wanda. It's just like no one can ever guest on this show. But the epilogue I thought was good and timely and thoughtful and offered a perspective on things that the three of us we don't have.
We sorely missed.
Absolutely. So until next time, listener, goo is good. Goo is cool. More movies should have goo.
It's Mondo Gecko instead of Gordon Gecko, just delivering a monologue. I love it.
Goo, for lack of a better word, is good.
I want 15 shares of mutagen at 16 and a half.
You love that structure.
It's because it's like, to me, it's like not English. It's not.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Words.
People have tried to explain that.
Speak in tongues.
I look at like footage of the stock market. It's just like people screaming, holding pieces of paper in their hands, and I'm like, what information is being conveyed?
I didn't realize until this show with the Barbie episode, just like how much like men bother me. I knew that they bothered me a lot, but I didn't realize like to the extent. And I didn't realize until
Vern Tooley's gone woke.
I didn't realize. Oh, I thought for a second there, I thought you were going to tell me like there was audio problems on my end, but I didn't realize until Getting Stoned, Wall Street, just like how much I fucking hate money. Just I hate money because it's like it's all made up. It's not real, and like
Vern, you're the anti-gecko,
and like nothing to me, like nothing underscores how made up and totally fucking horseshit bullshit it is. Then like I want 18 shares of this at 17.5. That's not. It's made up.
What does that mean?
Well, no, because it's
not
finance. It's not actually anything. Like gold is like currency is fine because that's like a material thing. Finance is just pieces of paper. It's just numbers in your head that you yell at.
I can understand losing your mind over gold because it's pretty rock. It's a pretty rock.
Yeah.
But like getting bent up out of shape over like, oh no, my green slips of paper. Like that's like it's like how childish. Like how childish do you have to be? Especially now whenever money is just made up numbers. Just made up numbers on a screen. I can go on Photoshop right now and become the richest person in the world. It's just made up numbers. And
William Friedkin hired the best forger in the country for one of his movies, and then he kept spending the money.
What a cool guy. I mean, what also a psychopath, but what a cool guy. I do think finance guys are the one group of people we should put in the Logan's Run. You turn 30 and you get sucked in the big blender machine. I think we should invent the Logan's Run machine for Wall Street guys.
No, Kevin. We need to be more benevolent. We should bring back human zoos for these people.
I
would actually love to put these guys in enclosures where they're well fed and cared for and they get medicine. But we just put like peanut butter Kongs in like safe boxes.
But there's a coin in the bottom of the Kong.
Yeah, no. What we do is we put like corn and like frozen peas in a Bloomberg terminal, and they get to fish it out with bamboo sticks. I think they'd have fun with that. I think we could freeze like strawberries and blocks of ice for the summer for the finance bros to like lick and smash to get at the sweet treats inside.
I love it. Let's do it. I hate money, but I love turtles. I know you wanted to wrap
Human
up
Zoos 2024 coming to a neighborhood near you.
We bought a human zoo.
We bought a human zoo. We bought a human zoo.
Bought a human zoo.
With money.
They said it couldn't be done. They said a gamer could never become a race car driver.
Apparently someone like one of the drivers killed like a pedestrian in the race.
Who hasn't?
Like but that means they weren't as good drivers as they thought they were. Which
shouldn't have
defeats
been on
the
the
whole
track.
premise of the movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna become a race car driver because I played Grand Theft Auto 4 and I drove on the sidewalks only.
It's the green machine, gonna rock the town without being seen. Gonna see the turtle get down, slamming and jamming to the new swing sound. Yeah, everybody let's move, vanilla is here with a new jack groove. Gonna rock and roll the place with the power of the Ninja Turtle face. Iceman, you know I'm not playing this. Never in the show, I just wanna rock, say it. Fill in the gap, drop that bass in the ninja rap. If you know what I mean, give it up. From the people that can't smooth the power, the death hour after hour. It's like there's only one winner. You better aim straight through the center. Get into it with a team of 4 Ninja Turtles, and you gotta do it. Ninja